Hey guys, just answering another question you guys had from the homework. We're looking at 51 on section 9.4. This one was about a cat jumping into the air. So you see I've got the vertical motion model back there. You're going to need that, have that memorized. But I thought it was only right, since this is about a cat, to show you that this is my cat. She's real happy to be in this video right now. So this is Bailey. We've got she's scratching me, so I need to let her down. We got another cat named Barnum, Barnum and Bailey. I'm gonna get her up and let her out of the room right now before she makes a mess. All right, so there you go. There's a visual representation of a cat. That should help us with this problem, right? All right, so let's take a look at 51. So 51 says we've got a cat jumping from the ground into the air with an initial velocity of 11 feet per second. How long will it take it to land back on the ground? All right. So again, I've got my my vertical motion model. Hopefully you got that from the notes. And let's see what we got here. Well, I want to know when the cat is going to hit the ground again. All right. So that is my H. All right. And its initial position is also at 0 because it's jumping from the ground up into the air and then landing back on the ground again. And the other thing it gives me is the initial velocity, which I think was 11. All right. So that's going to fill in for V. And my T is my unknown here because they're asking how long is it going to take. So I've got everything I need here to solve this equation now. All right. Again, the plus 0 at the end, I really don't need. So I'm looking at solving this quadratic. So again, I've already got it equal to 0. Remember the main thing about solving these kinds of equations, and I think I just used the word quadratic. Probably haven't used that with you yet. A quadratic is just any equation that uses x squared or t squared. So if I talk about a quadratic equation, get that cursor out of my way again. If I talk about a quadratic equation, that's all I'm talking about is something that involves an x squared. So I've got it set equal to 0. So now I just want to factor this, which is that undistributive property. So 16 and 11 really don't have anything in common, but a t squared and a t, I can factor out a t. Now again, if those t's confuse you because your t's look like plus signs, feel free to change those to x's. All right, t just represents time. So now t times what would give me negative 16t squared? Well, that would be negative 16t. And then t times what would give me 11t? That would be 11. And again, distribute it back through. T times negative 16 is negative 16t squared. T times 11 is 11t. So I've got it factored. I've got it set equal to 0. Say it with me now. Yep, the zero product property. So if I'm multiplying two things and getting 0, one of those two things has to be 0. So either t equals 0, which makes sense. That's when the cat first starts to jump. All right at the beginning here. So t equals 0 is when the cat first starts to jump. We're going to be concerned with this one. When does negative 16t plus 11, when does that equal 0? And now yes, yeah. All right, yep, that's a two-step, all right? So again, I subtract 11 from both sides. I get negative 16t equals negative 11. And then I divide both sides by negative 16. And I'd be happy if you just left it 11/16 of a second. All right. If you do want to go ahead and divide that out, I forget what answer I shared here, but if you just grab your grab your calculator and do 11 divided by 16, I get 0.6875. All right. So I think I rounded that. But I'm not going to round it here because it doesn't come out too bad. All right. So a little more than half a second there. All right. In order for this cat to land back on the ground. All right. So again, vertical motion model. Where does it start from? Well, it starts from the ground. So it's really starting at ground 0. And really the only thing I need is the initial velocity. How quick is that cat going? 11 feet per second. I wonder if I could get our cat to go 11 feet per second. I think I'm going to go try that. I'll let you guys know how it turns out.